was very different at my old school. We didn't have pods. We had 2 hallways running down the left and the right, and then there were classrooms along the hallways. We never actually really collaborated with other classrooms. We were just solitary. My favorite part of NRP is the inquiry. I like learning more of a question-based way instead of hear something, memorize it, and then recite it on a test. We have to ask questions, open-ended questions, which are really hard to answer. In our process of answering them, we have to try and find more questions.
I think working in groups helps to extend my thinking more. I can see what others think and apply that to what I already know. It's really interesting to me to see how people can get such different insights. It extends my learning too because I can learn from the perspective of others. I think NRP is a really good school in terms of how we are encouraged to think and learn. The school motto, learners at the center, well, I really like that because it shows that the teachers and staff actually care about us and how we get to learn. It kind of implies that they're there for us, which is always a good feeling to have.
Well, I really like working in communities, but it's not just that we get to work in communities. It's also that we get to work with people we wouldn't necessarily work with. And we get to try and figure it out. We get to try and figure out our arguments by ourselves. We get to really try and experience the real world.
I really think the teachers care for us. They can sort of sense when we're not engaged as much or isn't participating as usual. And they take action, they change how we're going with the activity, and it's a very stress-free environment, and I think that's how we grow and how we actually learn what we're doing.
I'm in the Sword Fern community with 72 friends. Our teachers care about how we feel and how we learn. They teach in different ways for different people, and that's what makes them great teachers.
Well, I think the school gives us lots of freedom in terms of learning, and I'm doing extended math, so that means I'm not doing math with my regular classes. And we get to work at our own instructional level, and we also have student leaders leading math classes, and I think that is more of an experiential way of learning, which you cannot get and express in a normal school.
The staff work hard at helping everyone at their own level. They help us stretch our knowledge and abilities while still being mindful of not expecting too much or too little of us.
Well, I think this school is more project-based learning, which is good because like most schools you do tests, and it's kind of hard to think, and it doesn't give you like an overall of what the children's capabilities are. But here you can like express it in like ways of like art or anything. Like it's so project-based, so you have time, and you also don't have to you're not like brain blocked because on tests you just get nervous, but in projects you can take your time and think over things.
I appreciate how the school focuses on strengths. For example, the language used in communicating learning is not about not meeting expectations, but on acquiring, developing, refining, mastering, or extending skills. I like how the staff addresses weaknesses without having students think they are their weaknesses.
So I think at our new school, we incorporate learning in a different way. We incorporate learning throughout projects instead of worksheets. We incorporate math, literacy, language, and all these things that we are learning into projects. And I think that is a better way of learning than the old kind of curriculum and worksheets.
What I really like about our school is that the teachers don't just act like they know everything. If you have a passion and you come to them with input, they do their best to make it happen. And they always acknowledge when they aren't sure about something. But if they're not sure about something, they always try and find ways for us to still gain the knowledge. For example, they invite mentors from the parent communities and from other communities, just from the community.